This is a picture of Africa. This is a picture of a brick. This is also a picture of a brick. 1984, the first mobile phone was purchased. And for those of you I remember phones like this, right? I didn't have one. I was a wee kid, right? But this is the battery. This is the handset. You carry it around. It only lasted for a couple of hours or so and took forever to charge. And here you can see, here's a guy using a brick, executive type. That may be his private jet. But at the time when mobile phones first launched, they were considered toys for the rich, for the executive. They weren't considered that they would have much utility. A handheld portable phone was considered a gimmick, a look what I got, rich man's toy with dubious utility. And I'll link to this article in the description below, as I will link to the other articles. Now you will see that I've got quite a few tabs open. Please don't be distressed. I have done my own due diligence. I'm not having more tabs open than I know what to do with, although that does occasionally happen. So this is my reminder to you to do your own due diligence and don't invest any more than you're willing to lose. This is not advice on how you should invest in cryptocurrencies, nor how you should use your browser. Okay, so now this is what smartphones look like now. From these bricks, or these bricks, or these bricks, to these bricks. They're not little bricks, right? They're just little handheld cute devices, and they can do all sorts of things. And they really have taken off in Africa. According to this article, Africa could have more smartphone users than the entire Middle East by 2035. Now, you can see the growth in smartphone take-up. By 2020, you could have close to 160 million units. Now, feature phones are in decline. Feature phones are, they've got a few basic functions, a few things you can do with them, but they're not as smart as smartphones, which are Wi-Fi enabled. And here, smartphone penetration level by country, it goes up to 2016 estimate that in the United States, by 2016, there'll be 83% penetration, 88% in the UK, which is where I am, Germany 81%, India 36%, and Indonesia 40%. Indonesia, very good for a Mise Go. And how are we doing in Africa with smartphone penetration? Well, it is on the up and up, as you can see here. So according to this chart, you got in a few select countries. In South Africa, you got 47% smartphone penetration. In Kenya, you got 31%. Nigeria, 29%, and Tanzania, 22%. So not all the countries, but South Africa has the largest smartphone penetration. 47% is still considerably less than what you've got in the UK at 88% or the US with 83%. You've got plenty of room to grow. Now, why is there so much smartphone penetration? And how do people use them? Well, here's one of the ways. I'll just play a minute or so of this.
When M-Pesa launched in Kenya 10 years ago, it gave anyone in the country with a mobile phone the power to send and receive money at the touch of a button. Today, billions of transactions later, M-Pesa is used for everything from bill payments to food purchases. And it's...
Okay, so one of the things that's really big in Africa, and possibly a greater proportion in Africa than I think in Europe or North America, is mobile banking. People using their mobile phones to send money. And one of the companies that does this is M-Pesa. And there's another article here about how mobile banking is taking off in Africa. People use Orange Money, M-Pesa, Tigo Cash. And this is M-Pesa's website. M-Pesa are very big in Kenya. Now, what I would do if I was in Kenya and I wanted to do mobile banking is I would register with M-Pesa and then I would load money onto the M-Pesa card using my bank account, my credit card, or my debit card in 3 easy steps. Except there's a problem. There is a problem that M-Pesa, there's a very large market that M-Pesa doesn't reach, and that's the unbanked. I'm going to read quite a bit of this article because it gives a good background. Traditional banks are still struggling to reach the unbanked across Africa. In 2014, a staggering 66% of sub-Saharan Africans did not have a bank account, so 2/3 of the population of sub-Sahara. The small size of national markets, a lack of financial literacy, low income levels, political instability, and weak judicial systems have created a constrained African banking system. And banks continue to rely on traditional banking models of branch networks, expensive technology, inadequate systems, and a limited talent pool. The micro, small, and medium entrepreneurs, MSMEs in particular, are disadvantaged when it comes to access to financial systems. Now, MSMEs, they'll include stallholders or people with small markets and stuff. In Uganda, 90% of the private sector is made up of MSMEs, entrepreneurs critical to growth of economies and job creation. In 2015, we conducted field research in Uganda to understand the banking habits and needs of MSME owners. We found that the large proportion of MSME owners in our focus group distrust banks. So in that regard, they may not be that different to many people in Europe and North America. Interviewees were wary to use ATMs or online banking platforms as they were afraid that their money would not reach the recipient. And it's not just Uganda with trust issues. There's similar feeling towards the banking system and banking technology across the African continent, as well as the same reliance on cash transactions. And traditional banks are still struggling to reach the unbanked across Africa. MSMEs owners often could not afford the fees charged to open and maintain a bank account, favoring cash and mobile money options. And bank branches are not always conveniently located, often meaning travel costs, long wait times, and intimidating bureaucratic processes. The failure to regularly bank cash has a knock-on effect to the business as it impacts the financial track record and hinders the ability to access additional products like loans and insurance. Unfortunately, the problems observed in the Ugandan banking sector can be seen across large parts of Africa. Many Africans choose to bank with credit unions, such as savings and credit cooperative organizations, instead of banks. SACCOs are member-owned, governed and managed organizations. They are based on trust, and members do not need documentation or collateral to apply for accounts or loans. Although SACCOs charge high interest rates, they are very popular against micro-entrepreneurs who need quick access to money. Banks and local credit unions have long been the only players on the financial services market in Africa, but over the last couple of years, their dominance has been challenged by the emergence of alternative financial services providers. The main challenger? Mobile network operators, who have seized the opportunity to create convenient, low-value, inexpensive payment options in the form of mobile money. So what we have in Africa is a growing use of using mobiles for financial transactions. Mobile money has become a thriving business in Africa, with the highest levels of mobile money penetration in the world. In 2015, the market generated $656 million in revenue. In the next 4 years, this is expected to double to $1.3 billion. Most importantly, mobile payments in Africa have contributed significantly to increasing financial inclusion. At the end of 2016, there were 227 million registered accounts, more than their total number of bank accounts in the region. More than 1 million of those accounts were classified as active. So you actually have more mobile banking accounts than you have traditional banking accounts. And that's because of mobile banking. Now, one of the things about financial inclusion is the difference it makes to people when they're able to enter the formal economy. A major benefit of having access to formal financial products is being able to actively save. This gives people access to cash reserves in the case of emergencies, as well as a better track record when attempting to access credit facilities. The use of these types of products not only requires increased financial literacy, but increased trust in the financial institutions which will hold these funds. So, again, I'll link to that article below if you want to read the whole thing, but I have read most of it. Thank you for bearing with me. The rise of mobile phones has enabled a revolution in African access to financial services. And this article talks about the importance of trust. Well, what we have with blockchain are trustless financial transactions. You don't need trust because a payment is irreversible and inevitable. So what might you do in Africa if you were unbanked, or even if you were banked? Well, what you might do is you might go to the local shop if you were unbanked with your cash and go and buy yourself a mobile phone and become one of the increasing number of Africans to have mobile phones, and increasing number of young Africans having mobile phones, because they're always, I think, tend to be quicker to catch on to new technology. So you go and buy yourself a mobile phone, and you go and get yourself an Android phone. And then with Android, you download the Electroneum mobile mining app. Now this is a wallet, and it's a mining app. Now, I want to say something about the Apple app. There will be an Apple app open. It's really up to Apple. It's not up to Electroneum. Apple won't allow an app on their phone, on their iPhones, until Electroneum is on a handful of exchanges. And whether it goes on exchanges or not is really up to those exchanges. It will open on Cryptopia, Yobit, and Liqui, but it may not open on November the 1st on those exchanges. That'll be again up to those exchanges when they start listing Electroneum. I know requests have been made, approaches have been made by the company and also by holders of Electroneum who want to be able to trade and buy and sell Electroneum tokens. Okay, so you download the mobile miner. Now you don't no mining actually happens on your phone, so you don't have to worry about your phone getting burnt out. The mining happens on PCs and on laptops and centrally, and on mining pools that I think people are beginning to set up or may set up. And there's an algorithm that distributes cryptocurrencies, Electroneum coins, to different mobile phones that have the app, depending upon the power of that mobile phone. So this way, this doesn't exhaust your battery. You just have to have the wallet open. But essentially, what you're getting digital units just landing in your phone. Now, how much will you get? Well, according to the white paper, it says up to $30 a month. Now, nobody really knows how much a month. We're going to discover that. But let's go with $30 a month, and I'll also use a lower supply as well. But there's a problem with this, right? Which is, how would you? This is from the white paper. I haven't referred to this, but I'll link to it in the description below, and it talks about the mobile phone. How would you find out about it? If you're in Africa, how would you find out about this currency that you can use and earn for free on your mobile phone just by downloading this app from the Google Play Store? Well, if you look in the white paper here, if during the ICO they raised $1 million to $5 million, the plan was partner with game industry leaders to integrate the Electroneum virtual currency exchange, develop marketing campaigns to onboard gamers. And then if they got more money between 5 to 10 million, this is what they're going to do. Raising this level of funds makes it worth translating and marketing in multiple languages. Our initial targeted languages are listed as Standard Chinese, Hindi, Portuguese, Arabic, Russian, Japanese, German, Indonesian, Spanish, French, and Italian. And of course, English, because that's already done. But if they got a bit more money, between 10 to 20 million, raising this level of funds will enable us to translate into the 30 most predominant languages on the planet. The 30 most predominant languages on the planet. And then but if they got 40 million plus, and they got just over 40 million, market electronium globally as the internet currency, create a brand around electronium that allows it to be accepted in the same way as PayPal is accepted. Take our marketing to places that have never been reached through global outreach, sponsorship, and viral marketing. We believe we can access tens of millions of people who currently do not have a bank account but do have a smartphone. And those tens of millions of people are in Africa and Asia, I think, and of course South America. So the top 30 languages now, that was if they got between 10 to 20 million dollars. They've got over 40 million dollars, so this will get handled plus more. So what are the 30 most spoken languages in the world, and which one of those are spoken widely in Africa? So this is from Wikipedia. You have Mandarin. Number 2, Spanish. Can't think of any Spanish. Morocco, not very heavily populated. English, of course, spoken throughout Africa. Hindi a little bit. Small East African Asian communities in Kenya and Tanzania, I think. Arabic right across northern Africa. Portuguese, yes, in Mozambique and Angola and I think Zaire, former Portuguese colonies. Punjabi, perhaps in small pockets in East Africa, but not a large population. German in the former German colonies, and I can't think of any right now, but I know there are some. And French, of course, the French had many colonies in Africa, like Cameroon. So French is widely spoken in Cameroon. And Italian, I'm not sure if Italian is still spoken in Ethiopia or Somalia, but it was at one point. Okay, so you got possibly Italian, definitely French, definitely German, definitely English, and definitely Arabic. Those are going to be translated, and those are widely spoken in Africa. Now, $30 a day is, let's say you're going to get $30 a day mining if you keep your smartphone open, and it's a good quality smartphone. Well, according to this list of how much people earned or how much they produced per head, Seychelles was the wealthiest African country of $15,319 in 2016. But if we go down to Egypt, $3,806 in 2016, well, that's over $1 a day you earn. That's over $10 a day you're earning. If you're getting $1 a day just for keeping this app open on your smartphone, that's 10% of your daily income. That's quite a bit. Even if it's 50%, that's 5% of your daily income. And if you're living in Ghana on the average wage, 50 cents a day is a tenth of your daily income. That's not to be sniffed at. Never mind if you're in one of the poorer nations, go all the way down to South Sudan where people with the average income is $210 a year in 2016. Now, of course, this is the averages. You're going to get people that earn more, and you're going to get people, tragically, that earn less. But what you have with Electronium is you have free money because you don't have to do anything other than get yourself a smartphone. So what would you do if you did that? Well, you would tell your mates. You would say to them, listen, download this app from Android onto your phone. And then there isn't just the mining how you can earn money. What you would do is you would play the game that's going to be launched on November the 1st. And I do have somewhere, Richard has sent me a screenshot of the game. And I may show that in a later video. But you'd play the game and you earn more money from playing the game than you do from mining. So you tell your friends, hey, listen, I earned $1 today. Right? You download this app, you start playing the game, you can earn $1 as well, plus the money that you're making from the mining. Now, if you're making $1.50 a day using this currency, and you're telling your friends and family and other people in your local community about it, because everybody here could start using, perhaps they are already, using the mining app and earning Electronium on their coins. So this will spread virally, because what you can do with those Electronium tokens is you can go to, where is it? This guy and say, listen, I want to buy some nice cloth for a colourful outfit. Can I pay you in Electronium tokens? Use your smartphone, download the app, I'll send you the money, you'll get more money, and you have this alternative economy, a parallel economy where people aren't transacting in their local fiat currency, which is losing value anyway because of quantitative easing. I just thought how it could make a difference to people in Zimbabwe ever since the collapse of the Zimbabwean dollar. People can start, maybe that's something for a further video, right? People can start transacting in Electronium coins. So you have a parallel economy, and the transactions are free. There is no fee for transacting with Electronium, and they're private because it's a fork off Monero. So other people won't necessarily know who paid who and who paid what. So that you'd go around, and this guy would then, when he goes to buy his cassava or I don't know, go and buy a book or something from the local bookstore, he would then use his Electronium tokens to pay the bookseller. And if the bookseller doesn't have it, say, listen, you get this app, you get free money. So it begins to spread by word of mouth, as well as the uh, the marketing that's coming from Electronium Limited. Now, there's something else that this makes available. It allows Africans to enter the world of cryptocurrencies. That using Electronium, you're going to be able to buy and sell and trade with Bitcoin. So something that I've been thinking about while I was researching for this video is what is going to happen to the price of Bitcoin as more and more people start using Electronium. And one of the comments on one of the videos that I've done about Electronium is that, somebody posted, I've forgotten the name, I didn't make a note, but somebody posted that cryptocurrencies don't need marketing. Well, no, they don't. And then they grow at a small snail's pace. But if we're out to create a decentralized system where people are free to transact without government interference, without the risk of the value of our effort being inflated away through quantitative easing, then what we want is fast adoption of cryptocurrencies. And Electronium, because you can use it very simply and easily and quickly through a mobile app, because you can earn from the mobile app, because you can earn by playing a game on your mobile, it lowers the entry threshold for people to start using cryptocurrencies. Now that could eventually boost the whole space, because like I said in the previous video, Electronium has over 110,000 wallets with Electronium tokens in them. That's almost 2.5 times more than the number of NEM wallets that there are with any NEM in them. And NEM has been around for a while. That's the difference that great marketing can make. People learn about the power of cryptocurrency and the freedom that it gives. So this is why I got in early on Electronium. And when it does come on exchanges, I invite you to get in on early on it if you haven't got some already. And you may want to tell your friends and family so they're ready, because you can still download the app and get yourself set to get some Electronium when it launches and goes live on November the 1st. Listen, thank you so much. Tell me, what do you think of this? What ideas do you have? Is there something that I've missed out about how Electronium could be used in Africa and other parts of the world? And one of the reasons I chose Africa is because I wanted to get out of the thinking that, like, how the rest of the world is the way that my city is the way that my life is. It isn't like that. The world is a diverse place. People live in all kinds of lives, dealing with all kinds of issues. And Electronium could really liberate the unbanked, whether in India or Africa or Indonesia or wherever.